Hello there folks, it is TIJ Game and welcome back to the Football Manager 2021 Beta Save with Wolves. And today it is time for episode 2 of the second season of the Beta Save. Today we start the Europa League, really exciting time for Wolves going into the group stage of the Europa League. You'll see we're playing against Slavia Prague in the first match, and you'll also see the two other clubs that we face in Group E of the Europa League. And we follow that up, not with the match against Arsenal. I'm going to skip that one. I'm not going to play that one on camera, but we are going to play the third round of the League Cup on camera. We're going to play against Manchester City on camera, because I'm conscious we didn't really focus on the Cup competitions last year. In fact, we only showed the Premier League last year because we played one game in the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out, and then one game in the FA Cup and got knocked out. But it's going to be a tough draw. We've got Man City in the third round of the EFL Cup, but in the two matches we've played against Man City so far in this save, we've won, so we might have a decent chance. We've played 3 games since you were last with me on camera, and I got a bit worried after this third game. Of course, we lost 3-0 to Chelsea in that second game of the season, but a bit flattering for Chelsea. We really went for it, didn't we, with 10 minutes to go. We were only 1-0 down and they scored 2 late goals, but against Leeds United we were outclassed. We were beaten 2-0, and I started to get a bit worried, especially when we went 1-0 down in the Black Country derby against West Brom, and I thought, oh no, have we really riled the players and done something bad? But luckily, Morgan Gibbs-White got his first, I think his first club goal for the club overall, which is great news to see. And he got another one in the Crystal Palace game, but Raul Jimenez managed to get the second, and we won that game by 2 goals to 1. So we got some bragging rights over our rivals, and we beat Crystal Palace in an interesting game by 4 goals to 2. You will notice that we played Leonardo, or is it Leonardo? I'm sure. Yes, it's Leonardo Campana. We played him over Jimenez because Jimenez hasn't had the best starts. Again, it happened last year. Took him a bit of a while to get off, but it was well worth playing Campana. Morgan Gibbs-White got the early goal, and James Ward-Prowse put us 2-0 up. That was his first goal for the club. But I was really riled up because it was 2 each at half-time. Ollie McBurney scoring 2 in the space of 2 minutes, completely undoing all of our early work. It was 2 each at half-time, but a double from Campana, a brace in the space of 7 minutes, put us 4-2 up, and that was it for the game. So the Premier League after 5 looks like this. We've got 9 points after 5 games. I don't think you can begrudge that. We've had a bit of a tough start. We've lost against Leeds and Chelsea, but we've had good wins against Crystal Palace, West Brom and West Ham. None of those easy games. The Arsenal game won't be easy, but it's at home, so that's a little bit of solace. Arsenal have had a decent start, 7 points. Seems like they've had a tough start, to be fair, if you look at that. They've played against Man City, Liverpool, Everton, Leicester and West Brom. That is a nasty start. I feel sorry for them, and hopefully that continues for them in the next match against us. But we are playing against Slavia Prague in the Europa League. We've also drawn a little club called Zorya from Ukraine, a club I have to say I've never heard of in my life. But we've also kept up that Portuguese connection. We have drawn Benfica, so that's going to be a tough game, probably the toughest game of the group. The media predict will completely whoop Slavia Prague. I can't see that, but I guess you never know. We're away from home, going to the Czech Republic, and we play here on Sunday. Thursday, we've then got Arsenal in the later game on Sunday, and then we play against Man City on Wednesday. Then we've got Leicester on Saturday. So really tough schedule in the space of, what's that? It's going to be 17 days. We play in 6 games before the international break, so we'll need a fair bit of rotation. Now, I picked this side before I went to bed last night, and I think I'm quite happy with it. We've got Patricio in goal, the back 4 of Hover, Cody, Bolly and Vinagre. The reason that Hover's in over Ruben Semedo is that he got injured, I think, in the West Brom game, and he's out for a few weeks. He's out with a twisted ankle for another week. Neves and Ward-Prowse the midfield, not really surprising. Then Traore, Neto and Gibbs-White, to be honest, has given himself a chance. He's scored a few good goals and a few sub-appearances, so it's only right he gets a choice of playing. As you can see, Podence is out for a few weeks with a pulled calf muscle. That's why Traore and Neto start. Podence not in the first team, and then Raul Jimenez in the starting 11. So nothing that's too unfamiliar for anyone. Nothing that's a real shock. I think Morgan Gibbs-White, though, has got himself back into fire. He's had a cracking start to the season, and I think he is now our first choice over Max Meyer and Shabani at centre attacking midfielder. We're favourites for a reason. Go out there and tell them I'm a bit worried about Traore and Gibbs-White being complacent, but we'll have to see how we go here. We're going to send our assessment to that pre-match interview. I'm not too fussed about that, but I have to say that we're 10 episodes into this series. And I'm absolutely chuffed with the feedback so far. You guys have been really good, leaving plenty of likes on the episodes. That's exactly what we want to see. Keep that up. Keep the subscriptions coming in. We've done quite well as well. I think about 50 or 60 of you have subscribed to the channel since the game's come out. That's brilliant. If you are a new subscriber, say hello down below. And yeah, it seems you guys are really enjoying it, and it's great, hopefully, to hear that I'm enjoying it as well. So it's really nice to see. But we've had a good, positive start here against Slavia Prague. Adama Traore's first effort was cleared off the line very closely. It was very close to the line. And it seems to have had a very hectic start to this match. And it's Slavia Prague who take the lead. But it looks like it's going to be an offside one. Yeah, defenders are appealing for offside. These VAR things are getting a little bit predictable now. With the fact that it doesn't show a goal, then VAR has the review and it's disallowed. There's not really much of a surprise there. But a bit of a hectic start. Another highlight. It makes me feel like we're on extended highlights, but no, it's just been an absolutely crazy start. This could be Prague's chance, you know, here. We had 2 chances. Seems Prague are going to have 2 as well. I don't know any of these players. Gekov to Zeman. Kokoska. Popasil. Oh, wow, very nearly 1-0. But an action-packed start here in the Czech Republic. Nice to be playing in European competition. Of course, we did finish 6th in the Premier League last year. That's why we've got the luxury of being here. It seems like they're all over us here. We're being a bit too direct and it's not working for us. They seem to be getting their passes together and doing quite a good job. Interesting. I feel like there's going to be a goal sooner rather than later. You don't have 5 highlights in the first 10 minutes and it end up being a drab 0-0. Just doesn't happen like that. Could be a counter-attack for us though if we can get the ball back. They've not really done much with this passage of play, but something will happen soon. Zeman into the box, shoots, and will shoot again. 1-0. Yeah. I thought it might have been. I thought it might well have been. We're not quite... I'm not impressed so far. I have to say, I'm really not impressed. We've just not been good enough. I don't think it helps with the media saying that we're going to absolutely smash them in this game. That doesn't help our cause at all. But... you know, we don't have to listen to the media ultimately. This is a big game though. You know, if we're going to get through this group, we're going to have to focus on beating Zorya and Slavia Prague. Benfica, I'm guessing, are going to be top of the group. So, you know, we've got to be winning these games if we've got to have any ambition of getting through in this group. But I suppose a draw at least is what we need. And I'll tell you what, if they go 2-0 up 19 minutes in here, that could make things very tricky. Popasil into the box, and we're just not really offering anything. We're completely off colour today, at least so far anyway, in the first 20-odd minutes. I'm not going to quite berate the players yet, because if we get an equaliser, I don't mind that. Neves, Ward-Prowse, back to Ward-Prowse and Neves. Those two look to be a good midfield partnership. Hover, his first cross gets intercepted, and another poor one there. That was shocking, actually. That was terrible. They're just getting through us far too easy here, and that was very nearly 2-0 for Slavia Prague. I don't quite know what's going on for us here, I have to say. This is peculiar. Hopefully we can get back into the game, because it's not happening for us at the moment. Really isn't. But there's been a lot of highlights. 46% of possession. I'm going to go counter-attacking rather than attacking. Seems that we benefit from doing that rather than try to have too much of the ball, which clearly isn't happening. Gekov, though, into the box. Again, this could be 3 or 4. It really could be. I think in the old clear-cut chances system, Slavia could have had 2, if not 3. Benfica a walk in their match against Zorya in the space of half an hour. They're 3-0 up, so looks like Zorya aren't going to be much of an opposition. But this is a bit disappointing so far. I'd have liked to have got a goal. Remember that Prague could be 2-0 up. It was only because their goal was disallowed that they aren't. And as I said, it could be 3 or 4. So I'm going to put my hands in my... In fact, so I'm going to not thrash my arms. Hands on hips, probably. Show a bit of desire. Gibbs White seems uninterested. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to come off. I'm going to bring Shabani on. Someone who wants to be in the team. I know I praised him before the match, but if you're going to be uninterested after that team talk, then sorry, you know, you don't get in my team. Going to demand a bit more out of the lads here. Hopefully this might well be the chance we need to get back into this match. We've only led once from the start this year, which is a bit of a concern. In all of our matches, apart from that Crystal Palace match, we've conceded first, which I'm not overly pleased with. That's not ideal if we're looking to win matches comfortably. But I guess it's just start of the season shivers, I suppose, and nerves. You know, it's a bit of a different squad. Den Donker's gone. Obviously, we've got 8 Nurius out the squad. He was a big player for us. Good challenge from Ward-Prowse there, but it doesn't really lead to anything. again, none of this really leading to anything. We've got a higher XG over Slavia Prague, which suggests we've had the better of the chances. But this could be it. Ward-Prowse, nope, doesn't happen. Can we get it back in for a second time? Neves out to his midfield partner, Ward-Prowse. Shabani off the bench proves his worth to the squad. He wants a new contract, and he might well get one. Because when he plays well in just on the 60th minute. We do tell the players to demand more after we've scored the goal, but I'm okay with that because we should really from here be pushing on for the win. A nice cross from Ward-Prowse, nothing too over the top, nothing too complex, but he was in plenty of space. He could have had a pop, he could have been greedy, but he passed it in. In fact, he put the cross in even to Meritan Shabani, and he got the opener for us. It seems we're now getting on the right side of this match. Just a shame it's taken us a while to wake up. That's not a good sign. You know, against sides like Arsenal, Manchester City, we ain't going to get away with it. But a howler, an absolute howler from Slavia Prague there in the defence. And, of course, we were 1-0 behind, weren't we, 6 minutes ago. But Adama Traore scores a sitter there. If he'd have missed that, I'd have been disappointed. Yeah, an absolute howler there from Ambler. Passes it back to their goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's half asleep. Adama Traore quite the opposite. And we now go 2-1 up. I'm happy with that. But as I said, mixed emotions. I'm glad. And obviously the most important time to have a result is 90 minutes in. Of course it is. But I'd like to get a result before that 90 minutes. Or at least start to play a bit more impressively before that 90-minute zone. But we're going to bring Hover off. He seems to be a bit tired. As I've said, we need to be doing all that rotational stuff. We are going to have players that are tired in this run. Hover's quite knackered, so we've brought Johnny on. You can see Ward-Prowse is tired as well now. So he's also on a yellow card. So ticks both boxes there to bring him off. We're going to go counter-attacking, try and just make sure we get the 3 points here. And it's been a bit tougher than I thought it might have been, but it looks like we're going to get the 3 points. But it could be a late twist in the tail, or maybe not. Adama Traore nearly makes it 3-0. I tell you what, Zoya are trying their best to bring it back against Benfica. They're now only trailing by 1 goal. If Zoya bring it back to 3 each, that'd be great. It really would. We'd top the group by 2 points. It does make me a bit fearful because we are playing against Zoya next, but hopefully we'll get the result against them. It looks like Benfica will hold on against Zoya, the same as we will here against Slavia Prague. And we start our Europa League campaign with a victory. Again, took a bit of time for us to get to the races. But no, a good victory in there, and I'm happy with that. I'm not too displeased with that at all. And Benfica just about held on. Any surprises here? Rangers held whoever that is to a draw. No idea who they are. AAB, never heard of them. Lille beat PSV. I suppose that's a bit of a surprise. Freiburger in it. Oh, interesting. But unacceptable against Slavia Prague. I mean, yeah, it wasn't great from us, but we got the 3 points. That sometimes is really all that matters. So just a reminder, we're going to play the Arsenal game off camera. Then I'm going to come back to you guys for the cup match. Well, another match, another 2-1. And the difference is this time we actually took the lead first. I was chuffed. You can see we played Campana. I'm trying to just rotate Campana and Jimenez. Try and figure out who our first choice striker is. And I'll tell you what, Campana's putting in quite a good addition to his CV. The opening goal he got in the 25th minute. Adama Traore made it 2-0 before half-time, 45 minutes in. We were helped because Lacazette was out injured, but that's no excuse for Arsenal. Aubameyang then went off injured in the 51st minute. Andreas Christensen, interestingly, he signed from Chelsea for them. He half the deficit in the 82nd minute, but they couldn't bring it back. We had 51% in possession. We had the better chances, and we scored another 3 points for the Premier League, and that is a really, really good result for us. We've got Leicester up next, so we might struggle with that. But as you can see, after that, we've got quite a nice run. The 2 promoted clubs, Bournemouth and Norwich, then Crystal Palace, Newcastle. I mean, until that Leeds game, we could quite conceivably get 6 out of 6. I know that's a big one to boast, but it could happen. We've had a good start to the league, as you can see. We're above last year's winners, Manchester United, and the season before that, winners there, Liverpool. Even goal difference, so that's why we're just behind Leeds. Again, Leeds having another good start to the season, but 12 points from 6 games. I'm not going to quibble at that at all. So, we now move to the Man City game. You can see there are a few rotational changes and a few players that are maybe fringe players given a chance. Zarkic gets a chance in goal. Bruno Jourdau gets a chance in the midfield. Purely really for rotational purposes and to get players playing and because some of the players are a bit tired. And we've got Neto on the right wing, Shabani in the centre of the attacking midfield, Vinagre on the left and Jimenez up front. Because Vinagre can both play in defence and in the attack. So I want to judge where he can play best, but really I don't think anybody in the under-23s could really do too good of a job. I mean, I'm looking through this. There's nobody I don't think that really highlights themselves who could come in and do a solid job. I might put Neuer on the bench actually over Semedo because Semedo has just come back from injury, so it's realistic that he's not really going to get into the team. So James Ward-Prowse is going to take the captain's badge today. I'm chuffed about that. You might say that this team doesn't really show any sort of potential for going into the Carabao Cup game. It shows a bit of disrespect for the competition, but I don't really think that. We're playing many of our first team players. I mean, Eric Palmer-Brown starts for Man City. I mean, Donnarumma starts for them, which is a bit frightening. We are the underdogs. Let's go and cause an upset. As usual, we're just going to play in the attacking way we play every single match. We've done the double over Man City last year. I can't see us winning this match, which is probably a stupid thing to say, because as soon as you go with some negativity in FM, it tends to go really pear-shaped for you. We could lose 6-0 here, but again, I don't think the board are going to be too displeased about that. It's a pretty tricky draw in the third round, but I'm sure Man City will be a bit worried too because, as I said, they've not got a great record against us. We did the double over them last year, but let's see what happens. They certainly haven't scored in the first 15 minutes, so that's a decent side. It's fairly even in terms of possession so far. Man City having 3 shots to our brand spanking nil, so that's a bit of a worry, but this could be a chance. Man City playing a little bit sloppy there, but they've got most of their first team out, so obviously looking to get a result against us here, probably thinking we're going to put most of our first team out. Jack Watmore gets a start. To be fair, when he's played pretty well, but I have to say, he's not played against anyone like Man City yet. Eric Palmer-Brown with a failed cross. Vinagre gets it out, but only to 20 yards, and Eric Palmer-Brown, he's going to score, isn't he, because I mocked him earlier, but a good save there from Zarkic. But, it's getting a bit worrying, and Kilman does head that clear. I thought that might have been a penalty shout from Man City. But, as I've said, I think this could well be a Man City win. And we have set up quite attacking at home, and that might just be a bit too far, potentially, here against City. I don't really know. But let's see what happens. That's going to be 1-0. But tell you what, City have had quite a few chances and just haven't really made it work so far. So, I'm going to play a bit more cautiously. A bit short to try and work... maybe not try and work the ball into the box, but I think going with that slightly lower tempo, playing the ball out of defence. I don't think there's any real risk to that. Bring the defensive line back a little bit. Again, I don't think there's any real risk with what we're doing there. And let's see what happens. I mean, they're not dominating us. 54% of possession. It's not terrible, but it's not great at the same time. We're really going to only score a goal here, I think, through a little counter-attacking break. And given that we are playing cautiously, it's not something I like to do because it invites pressure on, but against Man City, what else can you do, really? So we are 22 minutes in. I'm expecting a goal from the visitors very quickly, but it still hasn't happened yet. Chelsea have took the lead against Crystal Palace. I think Liverpool went out last night to West Ham. I feel like I saw that out of the corner of my eye, but what a shot that is, and what a lovely save from Zarkic. I'll tell you what, as I said, if you watched the last episode, his first game was pretty poor, but he's pulled off some pretty impressive saves, and if Patricio does get injured out over the season, then there's a chance, given that it's another season with some tough fixtures and a tough timetable. He'd be a good second choice, it looks like. So, he's a player that looks pretty good for us. But surely this is going to be the chance where City take the lead, and it is. João Felix with the opening goal here. 1-0 up again. It's not really much of a surprise, but as long as we keep it tight at the back, as long as we don't get completely embarrassed, then we've got a chance to nick one on the break. But my worry does come with the fact we're 40 minutes in now, and we've not had a single shot, and that does not help. As I said, you've got to buy a ticket to win the raffle, and that's something we're just not doing at the moment. But can Jack Watmore maybe make a chance? A nice pass to Raul Jimenez. Pedro Neto's going to get the first shot on, but it's a fairly tame one. It was a nice move started by Jack Watmore, who has been a pretty decent signing for us so far, in my opinion. But here comes the corner, swinging in. Man City get it out. Again, Jack Watmore gets the pass to Pedro Neto. But not a lot happening there. But again, one shot on target. Our XG is pretty poor, but not a bad first half. I think that we need to do something. I don't think any of you played as well as you're capable of. I think that's fair enough. We're going to go positive, try and get a goal after half-time. Neto does have a bit of a niggle, it seems, so I'm going to bring him off. But we haven't really got much on the bench. That's the problem again, when you just haven't got much depth. And that's really down to injuries, isn't it? As I said, there's not really anybody we can bring on for him. That's the frustrating bit. Ward-Prowse is a decent player there. I suppose we bring... put Jimenez there. He's not a great winger, but he's decent. And I guess we bring Campana on. That's really our only choice. I could put Ward-Prowse there, but I want to keep him in the midfield. So we're going to try and fire up our players. Again, we've got nothing to lose. It's not like a league match where we're too fussed about goal difference. But we're only 1 goal behind, so we're really still in it here. Let's see what happens. Can we get anything out of this? A very quiet second half so far, so that's a little bit of a worry for me. We're going to tell the lads to be a bit more direct, hit the early crosses, all the sort of attacking stuff you'd expect, to be honest. But not committing ourselves too much. I'm going to demand more out of the lads. Anything more we can do at this point? I guess we bring... I mean, Bolly's got to come off. He seems knackered. So we're going to bring... I can't believe we've left ourselves this short. I suppose we put Kilman in the centre of defence and put Hover on the left. I don't want to make that third substitution yet. I think we go attacking now, try and get something out of this. It looks like we're not going to, but it's going to be a tight win. Given the chances Man City have had, it's a bit of a surprise. But here we go. This is probably where it goes 2-0. Or we get absolutely astounded because we managed to nick a draw and take it to extra time. But I think this will probably be 2-0 again. Not much of a surprise. Let's see. Latoro on the edge of the box. He has a shot. It's parried from our defender. A lot of youngsters playing here. Or certainly players I don't recognise anyway. I don't think they've brought all these players in. I think they are probably youngsters. Ferran to Latoro. Ferran again. Number 2 tries to keep up with him, but he's beaten. He's still beaten, and that is quite poor. Who was that? That was Hover. He was quite poor from Hover, that was. Well beaten by Ferran. It's 2-0 now to Man City. I think as the commentary says at the bottom, really, that should put the game beyond doubt. As I've said, you know, it's one of them. Didn't really have much hope going into it, but I wanted to show a cup game to see what we were made of, and unfortunately our good run against Man City is looking to be ending here. But we're out the Carabao Cup early. I mean, there's a bit more of an excuse this year going out to Man City. We went out last year to Huddersfield, but we go out to Man City this year. You know, I'll say I'm not happy with the performance because he didn't really offer much, but you know, it's not too bad. Given we rotated the side, it's not too bad on reflection. The club wanted us to get to the quarter-final. Again, it was a preferred objective, so we haven't got there. That doesn't bother me too much. But it's our first defeat for a few matches, and hopefully that won't burst our confidence too much. So when are we going to come back? I'm going to try and avoid coming back for the Europa League too much, but I feel like we have to come back for that Europa League game against Benfica at home. So what we'll do, we'll come back for the Benfica game at home, and then we'll play the Crystal Palace match at home as well. Because we've had a few good matches against Crystal Palace. Again, that 4-2. We had a 2-0 against them last year. Yeah, we've got a good record against Crystal Palace, and it seems like a good place to come back. And I'll tell you what, after that, we have to come back for these 2 matches. What perfect fixture placement that is. Villa, then West Brom. Twice in 2 matches, and it seems the Europa Cup matches are going to come thick and fast. I think by this point, sort of 4 matches in, after we've played against Benfica twice, we'll know roughly whether we're in a run to go through to the next round or not. But if you've enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for daily FM21 content on the beta. Again, thank you for your support so far, make sure to keep it up, and until tomorrow, I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.
Untitled Chapter.